Hey, this is Matt with Go Read Books, and I just wanted to hop on here and give a quick reading update. So I am kind of in the middle of this readathon, this Keymark readathon that we've been doing. I am only 2 books in, well, a book and a half in actually, to my reading for the month. So I started off the month with Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Now I know I've already talked about what I'm going to read kind of at the end of last month. But I've completed this book, as you can see, nearly a 900-page chunker. And it took every bit of it, really, to give such a good character study that she did in this. I was told, listen to others, how she really made the characters come to life. I already saw really how she did it in the Farseer trilogy that I really enjoyed, and my goodness, is she doing it. She's doing an amazing job with the live Ship of Magic. So as I went through these characters and of course, she gives different point of views throughout the book, keeps coming back to them. I found myself relating most. I like to find a character that I relate to. I found myself relating most to Wintrow. I enjoyed every time I come across anybody in the book, but especially him. I just really felt kind of a connection with him in the book. I look forward to seeing where he goes and where all of them actually goes. Captain Kennett is a very good bad guy so far, a very good villain. I hear that he only becomes an even better villain as the series goes on. So I have enjoyed this. I read this. Really, it didn't take me that long. Not for me. I'm not as quick of a reader as maybe some of you are. I read this in about 4 or 5 days, I think, roughly. So, Ship of Magic, very good read, very good start off for the month. For the month now, I am on The Way of Adan by Dr. Philip Chase. My goodness, what a good book. As you can see, I am just over 50% through The Way of Adan. If you are a fan of classic fantasy, this is for you. And let me tell you, it's for me. I love this type of a story. You're kind of moving slow in the beginning, leaving their hometown, getting to know characters, and then all of a sudden, bad things start happening to the characters, especially the main character. But this follows not just the young man who may be kind of a chosen one type scenario. I'm not real sure yet. He may be something like that, but it also follows some priests. And that really struck home with me. The priest of the Way of Adan, they remind me of some other things I've read about and maybe even studied in history before, maybe certain groups, and I've just been very into this story. I look forward to completing it. Also, I wanted to talk about some things I picked up. Of course, there are other books I've already went over in a former video what I was going to be reading after I read these, but I also picked up some books to really have for maybe next month on my Kindle. I picked up Phased by Victoria Tekken. Now, Victoria, she's Tori, as we know her. She is a booktuber. I didn't even know she had I knew she was working on an epic fantasy right now that I'm excited about seeing in the future. I didn't realize she already had a book out, but she does, Phased, and it's a werewolf story. I look forward to reading this. Maybe I can get to it in May. I also picked up something. Now, this next thing I picked up, I am a little nervous about, just to be honest with you. I'm nervous because I hear what other people say about this, and it seems like it's difficult. A little bit of a difficult read. Of course, a difficult read isn't necessarily always a bad thing, but The Gardens of the Moon. This is from the tale of Malazan. Malazan, Book of the Fallen. Again, I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Some people says it's hard to kind of tell what the story is. There went a bookmark I had in the opening page. Went ahead and put my bookmark in it. Anyway, some people say it's maybe kind of hard to keep up with a little bit, maybe a little hard to understand. I want to love this. I want to be a fan of this, and so hopefully I can. So I look forward to doing that. Up here, I don't know if you can see just the bottom book here. That is The Wheel of Time. I started off reading The Eye of the World. I'm saying this to just jumping off of this, why I'm kind of nervous about starting this. I started The Way of Adan back in November. Not The Way of Adan. I started The Eye of the World back in November, and I enjoyed it. And then I want to say it was probably January, I read The Great Hunt. Again, I enjoyed it, but I felt like I wasn't loving the characters. Then I started reading the third book, The Dragon Reborn, and I realized I don't care what happens to these characters. There's 14 books or 15 books in all in The Wheel of Time, and on the third book, I didn't care what was happening to the characters, so I thought maybe I need to take a break. Well, that break may be turning to a DNF. Anyway, so that's why I'm sort of nervous about starting this, because I don't want to DNF another series. I don't usually DNF books. I usually will finish a book that I start, but I may DNF a series, and I don't want to do that again. I want to enjoy this series. So I've been doing some reading up on it, as well as watching some videos. I hope I can be prepared for that. Anyway, so this is what my month has looked like so far. And I have at least 3 more books to go as far as the readathon goes. Not all I'm reading, just all I'm reading for the readathon this month. So anyway, that is my little update.